and welcome here today, and we are live for Sunday midday soccer between these two teams. Here today will be Arsenland Phoenix versus Grasshoppers United. My name is Alex Chambers here today, alongside with this guy here today, Andy Gray as always. Pleasure as always, and we know that today's going to be a real proper match-up here today on today's programme, here today on the Premier League's midday game at lunchtime kickoff. Let's look at the league table as it all stands at the moment in the Premier League, and I thought I'll show you the Premier League table as it stands. Well, Grasshoppers United are 13th in the Premier League at the moment with 35 points, 10 wins, 5 draws and 18 defeats. However, Arsenland Phoenix are in the automatic relegation places with 22 points, 6 wins, 4 draws and 21 defeats, and they're in the automatic relegation positions. Obviously, Andy Gray, tell me, today is going to be a very big game for these two teams. Obviously, Arsenal Phoenix did actually play in their previous matchup. They did play against Georgington City last game. It was a very poor game. It was awful. They need to win games, haven't they? Because we know that if they continue playing like this the next 5 games' time, they're going to be relegated to Division 1. So do you fear Arsenal Phoenix? Yeah, I do fear about this team. Phoenix are a club that they want to try and get a result here today. We know they're at home. They're one of the home supporters today. I think a lot of fans want to see their team win today, because if they end up losing today, that's another big defeat, and they know that they are going towards that relegation scrap. And we are now up to match day 34. We've got like another 4 games after this in the Premier League, and there's a lot of teams have to react a lot faster, because we know that Phoenix have to get a result, and they want to try and maintain Premier League soccer next season. So I think for the team, they have to be more as accurate. They can't make any mistakes. I think this is a big game. This game is a very, very, very big match, and I'm hopefully that this team can get a good result out here today. I really reckon they can. I really think they can get a result. I really think they can get a possible win today. They're at home in front of their home supporters, in front of their fan base. So in front of their home supporters, of course, are not here today because of the COVID-19, but they are in front of their home. The home stadium. They're with nobody in the stadium, but it is big. It is a big game. Without fans, be disappointed not to cheer the players on, as it's COVID-19 behind closed door policy. But I really reckon that they can still perform and pretend that the fans are there, and that's what Arsenal can do. And I think they got that as a team, and if they do go down, that would be bad, because they've got a good fan base in this, and they're also in this division. They're very, very good with a fan base they've got. And let's talk more about Grasshoppers. Grasshoppers United did okay in their previous matchup. They did play their last match last weekend. They played against Pompey on Friday Night Soccer. The score was 1-1. That game was. What was your thoughts on them? I thought Grasshoppers, they don't really look like they're going to go down this season. They look like they're going to secure Premier League soccer. They look like they're going to play in it next season anyways. So it wouldn't really matter for them in a way for this game. This game really doesn't really matter for Grasshoppers. I think that Grasshoppers look safe. You can see where they are in the table. They are in a safe position. Hopefully they can just hang on to that until the final game of the season. So that's what they need to do. It's going to be an important game. It's going to be a very big game, and we're going to hopefully see how big this game really is today. It's going to be a very big game. It's going to be a real proper competition in this matchup today, and we'll have to wait and see if they do actually get the result. But they've got a good team. They've got some very good players in their team who want to play and play properly. They did well against RB Newport away from home. Was a big win for them as well this season. So I think Grasshoppers got that in the team. They can still win today. I think it could be either way today, I reckon. Right, let's go now to interview the managers right now. We're going to interview first of all the manager for Arsenland Phoenix, and we'll go to the manager also Grasshoppers manager Hernan Crespo, and we're going to get to them right now. Let's get straight to the interview. The managers. We'll interview Hernan Crespo and Adam Pearson, and he is with the interview man downstairs. Let's get to them. Let's get to them now right now. Adam Pearson, It was a very disappointing game. Your team was absolutely awful today. Your team lost today. We know there's not enough time left until the end of the season. We know that you got 4 crucial Premier League matches to be played until now, until the end of the season. Do you fear relegation, Adam Pearson? What's your thoughts on this game? Because your team were awful today. I thought in the first half you were very good. You played well, but second half you couldn't put the ball on target today. What was your thoughts on your players on that, Adam Pearson? Yeah, I thought very disappointing that our team wasn't as competitive in the second half. Maybe the first half, we were all over them. We had some chances in the first half, and don't get me wrong. But I thought the second half, we had a couple, but we made mistakes. We keep on making a lot of shots, like a lot of ridiculous shots to goal. Like, how did they score from there? And there was a goal opportunity because the keeper came out of his goal, and we could have scored to make it 2-1 or get back in the game as we can. And then we hoofed it out into the stands, and it's just disappointing. And we weren't as critical enough in goal today as we know. We got 1 goal, but that doesn't really matter. It doesn't paper over the cracks about 1 goal. But we had some missed opportunities we had in the game, and that cost us a lot today, in my opinion. I reckon we could have maybe got a point today. I really thought we could have done. I thought Grasshoppers had a more of a solid team going out to the second half, and they performed very, very well in that second half. I thought they had a very different mindset going into this game. I thought in the second half, and it generally worked for the team. It generally worked for Grasshoppers, and they got the 3 points because of it. So yeah, very good win for them. I thought they were very positive today, how the way they played. They had a very good depth of a team. They had a very good strong depth of a team they had. And I think they had that all game, but I thought we were the ones to have the chances, and then we gave them the chances, and then they beat us at the end of the day. So disappointing scenes. How the way we played today was awful, but what can you do? It is what it is, and we have to move on from that. And unfortunately, it was a disappointment at the end of the game. We tried to do a little bit more in the match as we possibly can, but what can you do? You did what I can, and it didn't work out as I probably expected. Thank you very much there, Adam Pearson. Thank you very much, thank you. Hernan Crespo, today your team did get the 3 points. Your team won today by 2-1 away from home against Arsenland Phoenix. Any thoughts on this game today and the 3 points as well against a team who are struggling, and they did struggle today like they did against your team today, unfortunately for them. What was your thoughts on the whole game and your game plan today, and how did that work your team today? Because it did work, and your team won 2-1. Another 3 points, or another point for your team, Hernan. Well, I thought we played very, very well. I thought in the first half, I thought Arsenland were more in the game. They made it a lot harder for my club, for my players as well. I thought they made it difficult in sometimes, and I know that it was a big problem. We have to look at that game, that we have to fight, and we have to compete, and that's what we have to do. We have to compete. We have to play. We have to play a good way. We can't come here and make any defeats. We have to be more as accurate as we possibly can. And that's what we have to do. So we have to try to compete, and we have to be more hard as we can and try to compete. And we have to show the ruthlessness in the team, and that's what we have to do. We have to be more as stronger in the team. We have to be more as accurate in terms of shots. We have to have that team and that method, and we have to be more as competitive as we possibly can. So we know that we have to be that today. It worked very, very well, generally worked, and I think that'd be good for us. Having 3 points is very, very good. So we have to have that, and we have that very, very well. I thought we played extremely well. I thought we were very competitive today, and it worked hard. I thought we worked hard today, and that's all I have to say, really. So I feel that today was a good win for our team. 3 points, extension towards possibly a survival place for next season's campaign. I believe that today was a very good win, and 3 points, I'm impressed. So yeah, good result against Arsenland. and hopefully they stay up this season, as I give sympathy for the opposition where they are at the moment. Thank you very much there, and Chris, a very kind message there for you at the end. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Questions of this matchup before we get to the game, Andy Gray. I think this could be a very big game for both teams. I think both teams are dying for 3 points. Both teams want to try and get a win. I think for Grasshoppers, they are safe, of course, from relegation. But for Arsenland Phoenix, they need to win this matchup. And what a time to do it today, I reckon. So I'm going to go for a 1-0 win for Arsenland. 1-0 win. Yes, 1-0 win. Right, anyway, let's get straight to your pundits here today. We're going to go now to, obviously, Joshua Cole alongside with Jamie Robinson.